Here is some more important information about GUI in Java. So coming to GUI in Java, so we have already seen a program with a salary calculation in our previous PowerPoint. So here the usage of JText field is very important, and this topic is basically GUI input and action listeners. So JText field. Yeah, we can see that JLabel, JText field uh, are both these options, default options used from JComponent is used to calculate the salary of the person. And here we can see that there are many layout constraints which uses the grid bag layout. So here grid bag constraints is the default built-in method used to assign to a variable, and we can see that there is one action performed method. This action performed method uses the user input, which is the daily wage, and it calculates the salary of the users and displays. So in the main function there is basically one frame uh, where the close operation is exit on close and the visibility is set to true. And coming to more details about the JText field component. So it allows user to edit the field's text by calling JText field set editable method. So you have to set the argument as true so that you can enter the input. So GUI components that support user input generate action events which will notify the program that input has been received from the user. So when you press the enter key, the JText field generates an action event, so which is the input value received from your side, the user side. So there will be one action listener object in a program which is used to handle events and which defines the program how it should be responding to each event, like any click on the keyboard or whatever you enter on the keyboard. So again, a custom JFrame is used and a custom action listener is used in this case. So the proper use of implements and extents is very important in your program, which is related to distinction between a class and an interface. Um, Classes that implement the action listener interface must define the action performed method. So here you can see this is an example of JText field. So to give you more description about the code, you can use the getText method to get the text user has entered. Finally, the input string is then converted into integer value via another statement which uses integer.parseInt, where integer.parseInt is a default built-in function used to convert a string input to an integer. So uses of action listener and action event classes required, like certain import statements which uses java.awt.event. So our programs may contain multiple action listeners. So it should specify the each action listener responsible for handling each component. One program can call a GUI components add action listener method in order to register. The Java virtual machine will automatically calculate the action perform method in order to perform the whichever function is used in the program. So you can basically use a J button to trigger the final calculation. So here the J button is used to calculate the final salary of the person with the given hourly wage. So this is a program which gives you an example of usage of J button. So you can see that there are multiple grids, insets, and everything. The concepts discussed in our previous PowerPoint, and integer.parseInt, which are the basic functions of Java. So here again we create a button frame and set its default operation and set visibility. So for using JButton, you have to use an import statement uh, in javax.swing again, which is used as part of JText field and JLabel. So JButton comes under the same set of import statement. So you can give a calculate. I mean, you can give the name of the button when you are initializing a variable called button. So a string letter is used to name the button, and add action listener will give you the is the method where you used to give the salary calculation part and display the salary in your text field.